Hi everyone, good day. I decided we won't say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good tomorrow. We'll just say good day. Yeah. And in Australia, it might be construed as good day. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Today is the day. Well, it's Monday. And is this a manic Monday? Absolutely. Just got off a training call, 3-hour training call. We only had 2 little breaks in there. Absolutely phenomenal. 20 top network marketing consultants, all looking to make sure they have a phenomenal 2021. And it's supercharged because these guys majority of them are over six-figure income earners, and they still are investing in themselves. They still are prepared to set up training programs, turn up. And one guy, quite interesting, he said, I've listened today and I've got 4 things that I had forgotten that you've just reminded me of that we know works. And that's good for a lot of reasons because, there's a saying to say, I've forgotten more than I remember. And certainly, as we go through our career path, as we go through our calling, there are things that get put to one side. And a good exercise that we did this morning that you might want to do is write down 10 things that you did in the past that you no longer do. And at first it'll be a bit of a stretch because you'll be thinking, but once you get flowing, just sit peacefully, no computers, no phones, just list 10 things that you used to do that you no longer do. Because there's such a huge amount of volume coming through now, such a huge amount of media that we download, that we live stream. We forget about some of the good points. So just try that little exercise. The other thing that we was talking about in great depth this morning is dress, dress for where you're going. And for a lot of people, they say, okay, well, if I'm on, for myself, if I'm on a training meeting, then it's always a shirt and tie. If I'm doing a live performance, it's always shirt and tie. If I'm chatting with people on a consultation, it's a shirt. And when I'm chatting to my mates, it's a t-shirt. And that's okay. So people say, well, I've done the dress for success. I've dressed for where I'm going. But you haven't. That is the cosmetics you've taken care of. So now you look good. You've got your pristine suit on. You look amazing. But where you really need to dress for success is, what I'm going to say, in your mind. In your mind needs dressing up. So what's that actually mean? Well, if we take, for example, the training I did this morning, 3 hours. Now, if I just turned up and didn't know really what I was going to say, hadn't planned it out, hadn't given any thought, it probably would have lasted around about 10 to 15 minutes before I would start to, and by the way, if you take Les Brown's training program, for every you say, he charges you $1. So you want to think about that before you do the and the in. But if that was the case, then these guys were saying, okay, now we pay for this training program, 15 minutes into it, you've run out. You have to dress for success in your mind. So create a clear path. Now, for you personally, individually, it's like it's your own blueprint. It's like, where are you going? But if you were just to take, for example, if you were just to take a flight and say, take me to, I don't know, somewhere nice, take me to the Bahamas. And the captain said, yeah, that's fine. Do you have a route? You'll be like, oh, yeah, the route is get me off this plane. Hi, John, nice you can join us. Get me off this plane as quickly as possible. But it wouldn't happen. You'd get on the plane and already it's mapped out the route the pilot is going to go. He knows when he's going to twist and turn. And sure, on the way, there'll be a bit of turbulence, so he'll have to keep realigning. But he will know what he's going to do. He will know how he's going to get the plane off the floor. He's the one who's going to know how we're going to stabilize this and successfully land it. Well, a lot of people just go into a training program, so I'm going to train my team. Will you sit in with me? Yeah, of course I will. And after 5 or 10 minutes, it's the and the and the If you were to take Les Brown's training program, you'd need thousands. You really would. It's $1 But what you need to do is you need to dress your mind for success. So how do you actually dress your mind for success? Well, you go and spend some money on yourself, because it's easy. I mean, at the moment it's lockdown, so there's not many good examples. But if you just wanted to go out for a meal and you could afford to yourself, would just go out for a meal. That'd be absolutely fine. And you'd go and you'd eat your meal. The reality is, though, you wouldn't just turn up at like a top class restaurant without planning in advance as where you're going to go. Well, the dress for success is dress your mind up. So when you are investing in yourself, make sure it's good quality. Make sure it's good quality. When you read a book, don't read it once, read it twice, read it second time, read it third time. I've got one book that I must have read 100 times. It's absolutely incredible. And every time, it's a bit like the Toy Story, the movie. Every time I hear something new. So when you dress for success, when you are setting all your goals out, make sure your blueprint, your mind is programmed as well. Make sure the weeds aren't in there. Throw them out. Get rid of them. Now, this barriers to success, it's like, what's the biggest one? It's the box. And we've talked about the box many, many times. But even now, people who have been talking about the box 2 weeks later said, well, I was thinking outside the box. There is no box. It's false. It's wrong. If you think you've got a box, remove it, burn it, trash it. Just get rid of this box. There is no box. A box is just a mental barrier to your success. So don't think outside of the box. I can tell you there's no box. What you need to do, though, is you need to plan. So as part of your success, part of dressing for where you're going is mapping it out. So how much time are you going to spend spiritually each week? How much time are you going to spend actively contacting people to grow your calling? How much time are you going to spend to read each week? It's not just a case of, right, I've got a plan, let's go and let's pray it happens, because, you know, you could be like a ship without a rudder. You could be going around in circles, and that's what happens to most people. So plan it out. Part of your plan, part of your dress for success, success being the word, is how much time are you going to spend each day reading? How much time are you going to spend each day planning? How much time are you going to, etc. So it's no good to say, no, I've got a goal and I want to earn £1 million. That's what I'm going to do. How? What actions are you going to take? You can't just expect, like, finger in the air, which way is the wind blowing? Okay, I'll go in that direction, because tomorrow the wind will change direction again and you will be going in the wrong direction. So as you map out your goals with your mentors, as you drill deep, write somewhere you'll remember it. Dress for success, not the cosmetics. The cosmetics are easy. Go and buy a suit in the sale. You'll get a great deal at the moment. You look fantastic. However, you haven't addressed the big one. You haven't just addressed the big success. So make sure you do. Make sure your plan includes very, very, very accurate information. Don't leave it to chance. If you leave it to chance, you're going to go nowhere. Spell it out to yourself. This is my blueprint. If a guy turned up to build you a house and he turned up and said, I've got some bricks on the back of the lorry, I'm getting going. And if you built your house based on that, I guarantee it'd fall down. No foundation. You've got to get the foundation. You've got to dress for success, and that means dress your mind for success. Anyway, I hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. We may catch up again later, although, as I said earlier, it is Manic Monday. It is crazy. I've been training all morning, a group of really fired up guys, and now we're going to move into one-to-ones. And there's a broadcast that I'm doing this evening. You see, when you're open to success, it floods in. But most people have these barriers. Get rid of the barriers. Let the flood of success come in for you now, tomorrow, next year, forever. But don't forget, get that blueprint absolutely bulletproof.